So, I fucking love your music. I
Thank
think that
you.
you are incredible. I was just listening to which one is it? Undone, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, Undone. I love that song.
Thank you. That's so sweet.
It's so good. I just think that yeah, so I just selfish question, how just because it fascinates me how people set their live shows. What is your live yeah, what is the like signal flow and what is your live show rig?
Well, so I do everything on my own. So I mainly play the bass, that's my main instrument, and then I play a bit of keys, and then I have an APC 40 with Ableton, and I sort of loop everything. So sort of like I'm
You
able
have a,
to
what
sort
is
of
it called?
an APC 40, like a
Okay.
controller, Ableton
Yep.
controller. So I can loop everything, but also like switch up the arrangement and sort of play around with it. So it's actually sort of live, and I can, decide to play bass for a bit longer.
Okay,
And
so how do
recently,
you, with one person as a one woman band, because that's
yeah,
what I'm desperately like. I was raised by deadheads, like, jam bands where that can like really be experimental. So are you in clip mode in Ableton that allows you to like yeah, how do you expand or contract sections?
yeah, it's all in clip view. So I basically have the different sections of the song sort of separated, but also the instrument separated, so I can like trigger different sort of percussion loops, or I can like actually trigger the drums and play them, and then I can sort of like play that live a bit and switch things around if I want. So that's really nice about being able to do it in clip view, I think. And recently I also started singing, so that's very new because Undone was the first track which actually featured my own vocals. So that
I
was a
know,
very
and it
big
sounds
sort of
so
big step.
good.
Thank you. That's so sweet.
Yeah, I absolutely loved it. I'm gonna ask you more about your EP in the interview later, that your newest one, but did you self-release that, or are you on a label, or how are you releasing your music?
Yeah, yeah, I decided to self-release the second EP. So I signed my first EP with Juicebox,
Mhm.
UK label, and then second EP we just self-released it, which was obviously a bit more work because you have to, email everyone, but it was a good process. I think I learned a lot from it, and it was
Fuck
nice as
yeah,
well.
that's
Yeah.
amazing. I mean, I think it's incredible. I asked because I just started. Do you know Defected, the label?
Oh yeah, 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 I do.
I have an imprint on Defected, so
Oh, cool,
I
amazing.
am, yeah, I'm signing artists, and I just think that your music is incredible, and I love what you're doing. And where are you
Oh.
based out of?
I'm usually in London,
Like Amsterdam,
most of the
London.
time. In Bow, East London.
But do
So
you also sometimes, are you in Amsterdam?
yes, yeah.
Okay.
So I am in Amsterdam right now, just
Oh, cool.
visiting family and here
Wait,
for a
what
bit.
time is it
I'm,
there? This is so late. I'm so
yeah,
sorry.
it's 10. No, it's fine. It's totally
Oh
fine.
my
No worries.
God, nobody told. I'm so sorry.
That's totally fine. No worries. Um, yeah,
Um,
but the difference is quite big.
I will be in London again in I think February or March. So I want to make sure that I'm gonna throw my phone number in the chat after this, and
Great.
I
Yeah,
would
that
love
would
to
be.
stay connected.
I'd love
I
that.
just, oh my God,
Yeah,
your
because
face.
I wanted to come to your album release thing during ADE as well, but
Oh
then
yeah,
eventually things got mixed up and I couldn't make it. But
dang it.
how's that?
What was that?
How is that? How is
Oh,
the
it
how
was
is the album process?
so. I mean, ADE is like ADE and Miami Music Week are like two of the hardest weeks, of I think
Hmm.
like for what we do. There, I mean, it is. I think I slept like an hour a night for like 7 nights in a row around ADE. So by the time the album release happened, I actually was like, went and like sat in a bathroom stall for a minute because there's just so many people to say hello to. I got a little bit overwhelmed. And as I'm sitting there in the bathroom stall, I could like hear people talking about me coming in and out of the bathroom, because they were obviously coming to the album release party, duh. But
Yeah.
it was, it was really just like a lot of social output. But then as soon as I started playing, it was a blast. And then Dear Jade and Phil who had just signed to Yes Yes Yes. They both showed up and we did this like really fun girl power B2B, and it was just like anything went. It was so fun. Oh, it would have been so fun to have you there. Do you ever DJ?
Yeah, I do sometimes. I actually DJ'd last year during ADE
Oh
because Frank
yeah.
Moody sort of hosted a night, so I sort of
Oh,
opened for them, which was really fun. But
oh, that's
then this
fucking
year
amazing.
I didn't do a lot, and also went to London on the Saturday already because I had a Tomish workshop.
Oh, what
So
workshop?
Tom Mish hosted a
Oh,
workshop. He
whoa.
does this sort of wildflower. It's called Wildflower, and it's this initiative to sort of support developing artists, which was really cool. He asked me to join, so I
Oh,
went back
that's
to
inc
London. So I missed
oh
half
my
of AD, which was a bit
yeah.
weird. It was a bit
Knows
hectic.
probably. On Sunday, I
Yeah.
played with a meme at 4 p.m. and it felt like it might as well have
Mm.
been 6 in the morning. I was like 4 p.m. I could like barely get out of bed. It was like, and then I had to fly straight from there to Durham, North Carolina to do one day of tech rehearsals, fly overnight to play a festival, come back, then tour started, loaded everything on the bus. Like I feel like I'm still just like from ADE. Well, anyways, I wanted to see if are you a fan of Caribou?
Oh yeah.
So they just released, I was listening to your music today, feeling very inspired. And Caribou just put out they did a boiler room. That
Oh,
and it just
cool.
finally came, like they've been teasing it for months and it finally came out a few days ago. And it is incredible, and I'm just saying that just because I think that you would love it, and I am telling you because I think you will be inspired watching it. That's
Nice.
it.
Oh, I definitely
Yeah,
will
it's just
watch.
because your music, it feels very, I mean, like I definitely hear the SG Lewis and sort of like FKJ but I also almost kind of hear like Caribou vibes in your music, kind of.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
So
Yeah,
I
well,
just
I think it's interesting because I really came from this sort of electronic background because I started out as a DJ and then after that started producing because I wanted to be able to play my own songs. And then I studied electronic music as well in Amsterdam. So sort of
no
my
way.
background is really electronic music and then I sort of merged it with funk,
Oh wow, I
jazz.
went the other way around. It's so cool to have that as your background. Okay, so you know what? We're gonna talk about this during the interview, so I'm gonna hop into it now. Okay, and it's Isha. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, it's Isha. Yeah.
Isha. Welcome to Femhouse Radio with your host LPGOB. This week we have producer, artist, and multi-instrumentalist Isha. Based between Amsterdam and London, her funky beats and strong bass lines see influences from the 70s and 80s funk, hip-hop, and jazz scenes, as well as modern-day acts like S.G. Lewis, Jungle, and FKJ. She released her debut EP, Bending Colors, in 2023 and started touring her one-woman solo live set, playing stages like London Jazz Fest, ADE, and supporting acts like Frank Moody. Welcome to Femhouse Radio, Isha.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Tell us your origin story. How did you get into electronic music producing and writing?
My story is quite funny because actually my dad got a DJ set from our neighbor and he wanted to learn how to DJ, but then gave it to me and was like, you do it and then you can teach me after. And I just fell in love with it, never taught him. I wouldn't stop DJing. And because of that, I was like, oh, I'll start producing as well so I can like play my own songs. And that kind of brought everything together because I played piano since I was 7 and I always like sang a bit. So it was really nice with production that I could like record myself and I just loved it and never stopped. And I studied electronic music and then afterwards, I mean, if I've always been listening to like funk, jazz, hip hop as well because my mom was like a big Snoop Dogg fan and I love
What?
Emerson
Your
Lake as
parents sound like the
well.
coolest people ever.
Thank you. Yeah, they are cool. They are really cool. Um, and Mac Miller, love him. So I think those worlds kind of like merged.
Wow.
And yeah, that's kind of how it started.
That's absolutely very incredible. So your new EP titled What You're Seeing is amazing. Tell us what changed in your creative process from your first EP to this one.
I think the main thing that changed was like I came into the studio with nothing So every track that we made was like built from scratch. I didn't have any demos lying around. I would just sort of
Whoa.
built from the spark that I had with the other person, which was really interesting because I've also made demos that really didn't work. But all the collaborators that are on the EP now were just really sort of special collaborations, and I think that made the sound of the whole EP quite different as well. It's lots of just live recording. I've done a lot of the bass obviously, and just sort of production on the go, and it was really fun. And I did one collaboration with Max Rad, and he's the first one to ask me to start singing as well. And I used to sing when I was younger, but I think at some point I was like, oh, leave this singing to other people. And he asked me to sing, and at first I was a bit like, I don't know, but tried it and loved it. And then we did something new first together, and I did sort of some small backing vocals, and then we did Undone as well,
I
and
love that
it's the
one.
first track that features my lead vocals. So that was really exciting. That was
That's
very new. It
incredible.
was all about sort of trying new
What,
things.
how long of a period was that when you went to studio with no demos to write this EP? How long did that writing process take?
Um, it did take quite long. I think it was definitely a year or something. But I
Well,
was,
that's not that
also
long.
I guess it's not that long, but it felt quite long. Because I moved to London like 1.5 years ago, and I think that's when sort of that process kind of started. So I just got into a lot of studio sessions and tried a bunch of different things, sort of like searching for this new sound that I wanted to do. So it felt like a long process because
Yeah.
I just made lots of new music, and also like sort of like immersed myself in the London world and London life. So that was very fun.
Oh, that's awesome. It's beautiful. Well, I think that your creative process was the right one because I love the EP. I know you're a huge fan of Frank Moody. How did you
Yes.
end up on tour with them during the first year of your career? That's insane.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, that was crazy. Because I've been listening to them since I was 15. I love their bass lines are obviously amazing, out of this world. And then I signed my first EP to Juicebox, which is their management. So that's sort of how I got in contact with them, which was crazy already. And then Adam, the head of the label, called up my manager, and he was like, Frank Moody's bassist can't do their Latin America tour. Do you want to do it? Which was, yeah, mind blowing.
Oh, wait,
Still
so
mind
you were
blowing.
in the band?
Yeah, so I played bass for them.
Did you learn so much?
Yeah, it was amazing. It was a crazy week because it was very sort of intense, and we literally flew to Mexico, got on a flight to Dominican Republic. It was very mad, and then my passport got stolen, so I felt like it was a tour full of high highs and low lows. But it was so fun, and they're such a fun bunch. They're so sweet as well. They're so down to earth, and they really took me in, and it was lovely. Honestly, the best
Oh, I
experience.
love hearing this. I'm W's global music director, and we booked Frank Moody to do. I started a series called W Presents, where we tour live acts that have live elements throughout our properties, and they're playing our new New York property. So I'm really excited for
Oh,
that show.
amazing! I love that. Yeah, they're so
Last.
fun.
Oh, good. Last question for you. What advice would you give your younger self? You are still very young, but what advice would you give your younger self?
My younger self. Um, Ooh, good question. But I think probably just like don't be too hard on yourself, and enjoy the ride, which is quite cliche, but I think it's the most important thing I've learned over the past year is just like enjoy making music, enjoy that process, and um yeah, it doesn't all need to be perfect, even in making this EP, I kind of embraced the imperfections as well, and I think that's
Oh yeah.
been my my main learning experience.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you so much for being a guest on Femhouse Radio. We are huge fans of yours. We love what you're doing. We love your music. We love your live show. Keep doing it. We will be here cheering you on.
Thank you.